Ooh, that is right. We grabbed the third release that has ever happened of Peerless's single barrel double oaked rye. It's their third one they've ever done, and it was just a single barrel, so there's like 150 bottles of it. It's barreled or bottled at 111 and a half proof, but it's a double oaked rye that is outrageously dark. Do you see how dark this is? This is like molasses in comparison to like a typical bottle.
Look at it compared to the Four Roses, which is a barrel strength 11-year-old bourbon.
The amount of density in this bottle is insane. So we'll talk about that a little bit more today. But
we're reviewing again. If you're watching this, if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button. We certainly do appreciate that. Ben, can you come over real quick? I'm almost out.
I have already finished mine, and I finished 2 other pours of Tommy's newest Elijah Craig barrel strength pick.
How are you going to review it if you've already finished
I'm going to pour more. I'm just saying It's just going to be a really homey pour. Think about this is going to be like a 10. This is going to be a 10 out of 10.
A 10! A 10!
Let's go.
Darnation.
Let's go through it quickly. The nose is so dense.
Quickly?
But it's so syrup, and it's so sweet. There's not a ton of rye spice there, but there is a little.
A little bit.
But the nose.
Jason, chime in here. You guys have this bottle as well. You might as well open it and review it.
Does he have this one? I thought he got the.
They chimed in and said, "Hey, we got the same bottle." So open that thing up and see what you think.
Four Roses there.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Damn it, Ben.
Send it back.
Jen says pretty close to Jason. Luca Marciano was amazing.
Soccer player.
Sounds Italian.
Okay. Thoughts on the nose, Ben?
Yeah. So this is all super dark barrel notes. I get dark chocolate. How about charred marshmallow? Not toasted marshmallow. You leave this marshmallow in the fire for like a minute and a half. It's all black, super charred. That's what I get. How about maybe a burnt orange peel? A little bit of there. Dark raisins. Yeah.
I get raisins too.
So deep, man. It's so dark. Again, add a little bit of water to this if you have it. A little splashy splash.
Doesn't have water. Well, I mean, I know some people don't, but like, if we've got bourbon, they probably got water.
We did do a little splash. I did like 4 drops. I think Ben did as well. And because it smells, no, man, it's just like a little baby drops to let it open it up. It makes a big difference. Like it does smell a little hot initially, like it's overpowering, but it's still good. You still get it, but just those like little bit of water to release the oil makes a big difference. In addition to what Ben's getting like the char notes. Have you guys ever had like a candied bacon before? Or like bacon with like something sweet, like that kind of contrast of that smoky, almost kind of salty type of nature with then sweet. Like I'm getting honey, I'm getting like a jelly, strawberry jelly type of vibe. That rye spice is to me coming off as a little bit of mintiness as well, but like cinnamon raisin bread with like that vanilla icing. Like, man, this is just, it's so complex. It's a phenomenal, amazing nose, so unique. Really, really, really good.
There's so much to dive into.
It's going to keep opening up too, right?
It's going to get better and better.
Yeah, Ben's right. A lot to dive into for sure. For sure.
We usually break this up, but because we're trying to go a little bit quicker on this tonight, 175 for me, Brendan.
Oh wow, guys, 175 is the baseline. I am going to say 2. It is everything you want in a nose. It's elite. It's going to keep changing. This was an expensive bottle. I don't know if I can quite justify it was $150.
We don't consider price.
But it is
until the end. Everyone knows that.
2. This is elite to me. You know where your money goes just by putting your nose in there.
I would tend to agree with Brendan here. This is like, I'm gonna go 175. But if you want to spend about an hour,
I agree with Brendan, but just not his actual score.
Yeah, if you want to spend an hour nosing this thing, you're just gonna find the freaking world. You know,
that's my favorite part. Like drinking it too, but I love nosing like a good whiskey. Like I find so much joy in finding all these different notes, and it's such an enjoyable, relaxing, almost like meditative experiences to kind of. Yeah, it's great. I love it.
Woosah.
The Taste is phenomenal too. I'll let Ben start on the taste.
Oh, geez. What? Let me at least taste it first.
You've been drinking it all
I'm
night.
drinking like 3 other things too.
Yeah. Okay. So I get a little bit of like a leather tobacco note up front on the initial hit. It gets sweeter and more fruity as it kind of sits with you, or at least as it comes on the back of the palate. Again, I think that's mostly because the bottle, or at least the juice, is like 3/4 straight. It's black. I mean, it's so dark. And so those tobacco notes come through on the front end for me. But you do get the lighter, kind of fruitier notes, like on the sides of the mouth. And so, like I said, I think the burnt orange peel, the burnt marshmallow comes through as well. So it's pretty consistent, at least from nose to palate for me. It drinks a little toasty on the initial hit, you know. And I say toasty, I mean like it's gonna burn a little bit, but you'll get used to it, especially this being the fourth drink. So there you go.
It smacks you around. It smacks you around a little bit for sure, and even just it drinks toasty. It's got kind of like a burn charry type of vibe to it as well, which some people might find like a bit of a turn off. Like just know when you're going into this is a beastly like whiskey, and it's only we didn't talk about the proof on it's 111.5, which is usually kind of in my wheelhouse, but this drinks like it's like 120, 125. Like this is.
Yeah, it drinks a little spicy.
This is a beast. It does, but it's not unpleasant because there is that sweetness to kind of counteract it throughout. It's almost like a dark chocolate, like like a high what's it, cacao percentage, whatever, like the ones that are like 90% or so. Like it's got that kind of to it, to where it's got some sweetness, but also some bitter as well. So Ben mentioned tobacco. To me, I got herbliness as well, a very like earthy, almost like a really high quality black tea. Is kind of how I interpreted that. And then the sweetness, like strawberry jam. I'm getting a lot of berries and fruit both on the nose and then the palate, but like a very rich, like not jelly. Jelly's for like 5-year-olds. This is jam. That's what adults eat. Strawberry jam.
Yeah,
sure.
I'll echo a lot of what you guys said there.
Strawberry jam?
It is hefty. It is dense. The color is very much felt on the palate. There's no part of this flavor though that's not enjoyable to me. I think it's very complimentary, and I'll start out with the rating. 3 point. I was hard on the nose. 3.5.
That's what she said. I will go with a 3. It's very good. It's a little rough around the edges in some ways, but it's still, we're talking about a high-end, high-quality one.
Yeah, I think I'm going 3 1/4 here. I love how bold it is. I think this is bolded and underlined and italicized. That's how bold it is. And so I think there's a lot of character. So much character. 3.25.
Tommy says it does give a lot of black tea in the barrels. Hey Tommy, I think we're coming to see you tomorrow.
We'll be there.
Just shoot me a text so I don't drive all the way down there.
Is Tommy saying
yeah,
that I have?
We'll see you tomorrow, Tommy.
An exquisite palate to pull out the black tea on that. Thank you.
Tommy better be working tomorrow because I have to come all the way down there. Ben's driving. All right, finish.
Finish.
There's definitely a sense of oil for the finish, which I like.
Yes. Tommy's in.
It hits with the like I said, to me, it comes back to a little bit of fruity at the end. Tobacco, leathery notes are there, which could also be black tea. I could be just misinterpreting that in my palate. I'd really like adding a splash of water to this. I think the finish loses it a little bit for me just because it's so strong.
Yeah.
Well, I think the finish kind of gives some of that char back. Like you get some of that char back that Ben was talking about. Not necessarily the marshmallow, but like you taste that second barrel. I like the finish on this too. I don't think it's a 1. I mean, I'll just tell you, I think it's a 0.75 for me. It's above average, so I think that's pretty fair. But Brendan, thoughts on the finish?
I agree with both you guys. I think you explained it well. I'll go with 0.5 for me. It's just it's on the aggressive side. If I had to round up, I think it's between 0.5, 0.75, but it's probably the least enjoyable part of this entire drink, which is obviously all well above average to great to elite.
Yeah. 0.5 for me. Yeah.
0.5 for Ben. Okay, cohesiveness and complexity.
1.
Ooh.
It's the like. How can you say this isn't complex? This is like outrageously complex.
It fits together well.
In both.
Bonus point for me, 1.25. It is so
Ooh,
it's one of
the bony point.
it is one of the most
Bony
complex
point.
whiskeys I've had the pleasure of owning. It's so good. A little bony for Brendan.
Yes, the old Brendan Boney.
If Ben's going with a 1 here, I'll go with a 1 as well. That just doesn't
Good
happen very
choice.
often. Hey, did you guys know this is the second Peerless in a row that we reviewed? We did
Yes.
we did the Tommy pick last week. So, okay, so that takes us going into value. Ben is at a 6.5. 6.5 out of 8. That's strong. Brendan's at a 6.75.
Look how dark
Sorry?
this is, man.
I'm at a 7. So we're pretty high going into this. Now, $150.
Yep.
You can only buy it at the distillery.
Only 150 bottles made
Yeah.
of this.
Yeah, you're not gonna find another one that's on the streets, you know.
So I'll do value first.
Picturing Ben like in the 1990s, like New York like chain seller, watch like guy with a bunch of like bootleg stuff. He's got, you guys want some Peerless? Pulls over his church.
So I think you get what you pay for here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with a 1.25. I'm gonna go slightly above average value. I try to think about value with, do I regret buying this at all? And there's not one bit of me that regrets buying this. Would I buy it again for $150 tomorrow at Peerless or on the shelf? Probably. Bourbon's about the experience. Being able to say we got it from Peerless, 1.25, a little bit above average to me as far as the value goes. If I'd bought this on the store shelf, it might be a 0.75, but I didn't.
Right.
So
And that's what I'm thinking. Like
buying it there,
I'm going 1 here because there's value in buying it at the distillery, being one of 150 bottles, period. That's super cool. But like we won't have this option again, you know, like it's just done. So
the things that make it like a potential 2 on the value also make it could make it a 0 too, like or even lower. So they kind of
0.75. 0.75 for me. It's not the cheapest bottle by any means. That's because there's only got 150 bottles out of it. So I'm going 0.75.
So
I think you guys have. I'm with you guys with the points, and like I could make the argument it could be one extreme or another. I will split the difference between the two of you. I'll go 1. That's what my gut was. I'm really happy that we got this bottle. I think it's an expensive bottle, but you get what you pay for, which 1 is an average
5
value
of
on
them.
it.
We bought 5.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them.
And then TJ was just like that was the only bourbon we had at the house too, at the Airbnb.
Might as well drink it.
And so that was the only one we were drinking for like an evening until we had to go get some
classics, some old Forester 100.
Shout out Tommy Portu, Corona pick. What's up?
Final scores there. Ben with a 7.25, Brendan with a 7.75, and I'm at an 8.25.
It's a great bottle.
Brendan is a 7, or I'm sorry, we're an aggregate 7.75. Really good stuff there. That was really good. Enjoyed that.
Yep.
Really good.
Great bottle. Indicative of the complexity and the cohesiveness of our trip. Quintessential, if you will.
Oh, Lord. Well, bless you guys. We are going to Travis our way out of here. And do you have anything else you guys want to talk about before we go?
Nope. Wrap.
I was trying to think of a name pun to get out of here, and I can't do it.
I'm going to quarterback our way out this.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Without getting injured.
Same song, different verse. All right. We appreciate you guys for hanging out tonight. Thank you guys for always supporting. Follow us on social media. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube if you haven't.
Broke my leg.
Next week to talk about how Brendan got into his mixers this weekend because Florida State beat Boston College. So shout out to the Knowles. Shout out to Louisville. Shout out to the commenters. Cheers.